Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your AEW results, NXT results, and MLW Fusion. Link for the week of April 29th, 2020. And AEW Dark Results from the 28th, actually the 27th, which is Tuesday. One Fall Power Factory from Atlanta, Georgia. Their last date that they did their tapings can be found in this link. MLW Fusion having the Heart Foundation versus Los Mercenarios Super Series Week 3 can be found in this link. The matches had Heart Foundation versus Los Mercenarios, no disqualification of Richard Holiday versus Chessman. And plus some more action, but that's all I got from those. The action. First time since October that Heart Foundation reunite as they represent MLW in the Super Series. AEW After Dark Season 2, episode number 18 can be found at this link. NXT episode opens up from the USA Network with a video package to hype the show, featuring a look back at last year's tournament matches. Live from the closed set Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Tom Bellows welcomes us to the show. We see NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair arriving in the building earlier in the day. Tom hypes tonight's NXT North American title match. Tom sends us to our first match and introduces Mauro O'Donnell and Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix as they will be calling the action. They are apparently not in the arena as well, but calling matches from other locations. Interim Cruiserweight title match tournament. Isaiah Scott 0-1 versus El Hijo del Fantasma, who is 1-0. Mauro and Beth take over commentary as we go to the ring. Isaiah is out first for the opener. Next match will in the tournament to crown interim NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Mauro brings Tom back in to look at the current tournament standing. Out next comes El Hijo Fantasma. The bell rings and they go at it. Fantasma taunts and warns Scott after an early pin attempt. The lockup again, and Fantasma slams Scott, then rolls him up for another pin attempt. Scott shows some frustration as now Fantasma taunts him again. Fantasma takes Scott down again and goes for a pin. Scott comes back and does the same. Scott takes Fantasma down with a head scissor. Scott with more offense and a drop kick to see Fantasma out to the floor as the referee counts. Scott goes for a kick from the apron, but ends up landing on his feet on the floor after another move attempt due to Fantasma moving out of the way twice. Fantasma with a big insecurity on the floor. Fantasma looks over at the interim NXT Cruiserweight title belt on display at ringside. Fantasma brings it back in the ring for the break, to break the count. Fantasma works Scott over in the corner. Scott counters it as Fantasma charges. Scott counters and crosses Fantasma on the top rope. Scott goes on and hits a big springboard Frankensteiner from the second rope to the second rope. From second rope to the second rope on the other side of the turnbuckle. Fantasma gets count too. Scott keeps control on their feet now as Fantasma tries to trade holds. Fantasma fights out and dodges an attack. They run the ropes and Fantasma hits a big flying head scissor. Fantasma keeps control, but baseball slides out. Scott counters and comes back with a big kick to the face from the apron. Fantasma goes down on the floor. Referee starts counting as we go back to commercial. Back to the ring. Scott has Fantasma grounded in the ring. More back and forth. Scott comes from the top, but we get a counter and Fantasma comes right back with a big basement drop kick to rock Scott. Fantasma with a running double knees to the face in the corner. Fantasma with a big chop. Fantasma takes Scott to the top, climbs up for another Frankensteiner. Fantasma goes right back to the top and hits a big flying splash, but Scott kicks out too. Fantasma can't believe it. They trade more big strikes on their feet in the middle of the ring now. The shots keep coming as they both go down, stunned. Tom joins Mauro at best for commentary. Scott ends up hitting a German suplex, launching Fantasma onto his neck. Fantasma goes for a breather. Scott runs the ropes and flies out as Fantasma comes right back into the ring. Phantasma then runs the ropes and does a big suicide dive. Referee counts. Phantasma brings him back in the ring. Scott blocks the Phantom driver. They take him on the mat now, and Scott ends up rolling Phantasma over into a pin to get the win. Isaiah Square Scott is now 1-1. After the match, Scott stands tall as the music plays. We go to replays, and we get a look at the updated tournament standings. They're both 1-1. Drake Maverick versus Tony Nese will take place later on. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Scott next to the title on display after the match. Scott says he told us. Scott says he has all the respect of the world for Phantasma. Scott knew Phantasma before NXT, and he's a solid opponent. But Scott told us he needed it more than Phantasma. Scott says he needs this more than anyone else. He goes on and promises that when the game is on the line and you need the last shot to win, give the ball to Swerve, and he will always make it. Scott says he's 1-1 now, and he's just one more win to go. And then this will be Swerve's house. Tom says NXT champion Adam Cole will be here tonight. Up next, Candice LeRae will be in action, and Johnny Gargano will be with her. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see footage from earlier in the day with Dominic Dijakovic outside the building. He said Johnny and Candice just want to be the victim. Gargano wants to tear down NXT and rebuild it in his own image, which is terrifying. Dijakovic says it's ironic that Gargano wants to revolt against the establishment because that's the same establishment that put him into a bunch of takeover matches. He goes on and says his family taught him about respect, but Gargano and LeRae don't respect anyone. They just want to complain. Dijakovic says Gargano ran it last week, but didn't say anything about backing up his action. Dijakovic goes on and issues a challenge to Gargano for next week. Tom shows us a video of El Hijo Fantasma being interviewed after the tournament loss. He was suddenly attacked by the mystery men wearing lucha masks who have been abducting NXT superstars lately. Like he did last week, Phantasma fought them off again and made it away safely. Morrow says inquiring minds want to know who the masked men are. Candice LeRae versus Casey Cantazero. We go to the ring. Out first comes Candice LeRae. She walks down the ramp, and here comes her husband, Johnny Gargano, on the mic. Gargano starts hyping his wife up and gives her his own lengthy introduction, calling her his favorite wrestler, currently residing in his heart. Out next comes Candice's former friend and partner, Casey Cantazero. They lock up and then break. Talking trash to each other, lock up, and test the strength. LeRae takes Cantazero down. Cantazero kicks up as Gargano watches from a chair at ringside. More back and forth now. Cantazero takes LeRae down, but LeRae comes back and drops her on her neck. Cantazero sweeps LeRae from the apron and then launches herself in with a senton for a close 2 count. Cantazero with another drop toe hold. She goes for a moonsault in the middle of the ring, but LeRae gets her knees up and she lands hard. LeRae keeps control and hits a side stand for a 2 count. LeRae grounds Cantazero in the middle of the ring now. LeRae with more offense now. LeRae counters and slams Cantazero on her face with a wheelbarrow. Gargano nods in approval. LeRae goes for Gargano escape, but it's blocked and Cantazero comes for a 2 count. LeRae is upset now, and she unloads with chops. Referee warns LeRae as she unloads in the corner while Cantazero is down. LeRae with more aggressive strikes. LeRae goes on and hits a wicked step-sister finisher for the pin and the win. Candice wins the match. After the match, LeRae stands tall and looks down at Cantazero as the music plays. We get a replay. LeRae exits the ring and joins Gargano as they head up the ramp. Referee checks on Cantazero in the ring. LeRae stops on the ramp and changes her mind. She goes back to the ring and attacks Cantazero again, put her in the Gargano escape as LeRae and Gargano exit. Backstage segment with Damon Priest. He issues a warning to Keith Lee ahead of tonight's title match and says, when it's all over, Lee will be the one basking in the glory of the new champion, Priest. Marlowe says this will be the main event for tonight. Back to commercial. Back for the break, NXT Tag Team Champions Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher are on stage. Riddle dismisses recent criticism. He says he and Pete Dunne, who was stuck in the UK due to coronavirus pandemic, are a real team, but so are he and Thatcher. Riddle goes on and reveals that tonight it's the first edition of the newly bro show. Thatcher looks confused. Riddle kicks his shoes off as the crew members quickly run out and set the chairs and podium out. Byron Saxton is introduced as the host, and he's using his super game show host voice. Wow. Saxton introduces his first contestant, Thatcher. He asks if it's true Thatcher once ripped someone's eye out. Yeah, says Thatcher. Saxton introduces Riddle next and goes over the rules. He will ask questions, and one will answer on the white board, while the other answers verbally. The first question is, what did Riddle have for breakfast this morning? Thatcher says he has no idea. Riddle really doesn't either. Saxton asks Thatcher about watching TV next, and Thatcher doesn't own a TV. Riddle goes on with The Price is Right, and Saxton says he's got that one right as well. Somehow, Saxton asks if this means Thatcher has never Netflixed and chilled since he doesn't have a TV. Well, Netflix is online computer. Thatcher doesn't need a Netflix to chill. Riddle says Thatcher is a real stallion, if you know what he means. Riddle says Saxton probably doesn't know what he means. Saxton thanks him for the self-esteem boost. Saxton asks Thatcher next where is the weirdest place he's done it as a professional wrestler. Thatcher says the ring, but one time he had a triple threat at a laundromat. Riddle says his mind went straight to the gutter. He says they are going to be great together. Saxton also sees big potential. Saxton moves on to the final round, but appearance of favorite Egner and Martel Bartel. Suddenly, a strike with a brutal attack from behind. The game show is over. Imperium destroys Riddle at ringside as all three announcers call the action. Thatcher runs back over, but he also gets double teamed after they take him in the ring. Bartel and Aichner destroy Thatcher and hit their double team finisher. Bartel talks trash to Thatcher while he's down. Aichner exits the ring. The NXT Tag Team titles back in the ring. They raise the titles in the air. As the Imperium theme hits, they drop the titles on top of Thatcher as we go to replays. As we see Mia Yim backstage walking like a commercial. Back for the break, Tom talks about WWE and World Wish Day. He leads us to a video package on WWE's partnership with Make-A-Wish. Tom asks fans to donate at wish.org /WWE. NXT champion Adam Cole is backstage. He reveals that NXT General Manager William Regal has made the Velveteen Dream versus Cole for the title of next week's show. He goes on with a promo on the match and says he can promise the Dream will be over. Morrow confirms the match for next week. Charlotte Flair versus Mia Yim. We go to ring. Out first comes Mia Yim. NXT Women's Champion Charlotte was out next for this non-title match. Bell rings and they go at it. Flair takes the show and switches hold. Talking trash, taunting Yim. Flair with a big knee to the gut and chops to drop Yim on her back. Yim looked to make a comeback, but Flair drops her for a 2 count. Yim avoids a big boot and unloads with strikes. Yim sends Flair down in the corner, hits a rolling cannonball. Kind of lost my spot here. I'll just start reading again. Flair turns around, but Yim avoids the shot and poses on the second rope to taunt Flair. Flair comes right over and gets sent to the floor. Yim taunts Flair again, and she's not happy. Flair ends up dropping Yim with a big right hand from the floor. Flair stands tall on the outside while Yim recovers on the mat and will go to commercial. Back for the break. Flair stands tall in the ring. Yim is down on the outside. She comes back in, and Flair stomps away. More back and forth, in and out from both of them. Yim ends up applying a tarantula submission on the ropes. Flair gets free and fights back, unloading with chops and elbows to send Yim back down. Flair talks trash and boots Yim around. Flair with more kicks and trash talking. Flair grabs Yim and brings her to her feet. Yim fights back and unloads. Yim drops Flair with a big soul food. Flair comes right back in the corner and drives Yim hard into the turnbuckle. Flair goes up for the moonsault, but Yim pulls her to the mat and rolls her up for a 2 count. Yim shows frustration as Flair looks to be laughing some. Yim unloads with kicks while Flair is on her knees. Flair turns it around and applies a Boston Crab in the middle of the ring. Yim finally rolls Flair up into a close 2 count. Flair immediately fires back with a boot for a 2 count. Flair can't believe it either. Flair goes to the figure 4, but Yim counters and rolls her for another small package. Yim keeps fighting, but Flair ends up applying the figure 4 and turns it into the figure 8 for the submission win. After the match, Flair stands tall as music plays. We go to replays. Flair raises the title on the outside of the ring. Music interrupts, and out comes the number 1 contender, Io Shirai. Shirai cuts a promo in Japanese and says, next week, Flair is hers. Flair and Shirai stare each other down, and Shirai's music starts back up. Go to commercial. Back for the break. Casey Carter is backstage with Casey Canzero, who is being looked at by a trainer. Casey hurt her neck earlier. Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano walk by. LeRae mocks Canzero and warns her that this is how the new NXT is, and she better get used to it. We see how Finn Balor appeared to be attacked last week. He's announced to appear next Wednesday. Dexter Lumis versus Shane Thorne was up next. We go back to Ring Out first from Bizarre next to Lumis. Dexter Lumis. Shane Thorne was out next as Alicia does the ring introductions. They stare each other down after the bell. Thorne strikes first with a chop, but Lumis just takes it. Thorne with a forearm to the face. Lumis takes it and hits it with his press. Lumis mounts Thorne with a few strikes. Thorne charges and hits a big uppercut. Lumis works Thorne over in the corner as the referee warns him. Thorne turns around in the corner and beats on Lumis. Thorne goes for a big tornado DDT from the corner, but Lumis launches him across the ring. Lumis with a big right hand to drop Thorne again. Thorne counters and rakes the eyes to turn it around. Thorne with a big right hand to the face. Lumis takes him and fights back. Thorne keeps coming and hits a drop kick. Thorne with a big running attack in the corner, putting Lumis back down. Thorne waits for Lumis to get back up. Lumis stares him down, catches him with a spine buster in the middle ring. Lumis ends up dropping Thorne with a big Uranagi. Lumis locks Thorne in an arm triangle on the mat, and he starts to fade. Thorne finally goes out, and the referee calls for the match. The winner of the match, Dexter Lumis. After the match, Lumis stands tall as music plays. We go to replays. Tom talks about some of the tournament to crown new interim cruiserweight champion and shows a tweet from champion Jordan Devlin, who said the winner will be crowned the ultimate sham instead of champion. Tony Nese versus Drake Maverick is coming up next, as Drake is shown backstage in deep thought. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Keith Lee is backstage. Lee, who can barely speak, addresses Damian Priest and tonight's match. Lee says Priest damaged his larynx and he's not 100%, but he's all right. He goes on with the warning to Priest and is confident about tonight's match. Interim Cruiserweight title match. Tournament match. Drake Maverick 0-1 versus Tony Nese 1-0. We go to the ring for tonight for the next match in the tournament to crown interim Cruiserweight champion. Drake Maverick makes his way out, as does Nese. Drake just has one match left in his WWE after this due to his release on April 15th. Bell rings and they go at it. Nese takes a shot with a stiff shot and sends Drake into the corner. Nese taunts Drake and picks on him, telling him he will have to do better. Drake tries again, but Nese beats him down in the corner again. destroying him as the referee tries to pull him away. Drake is trying to catch his breath and yelling out in pain. Nese comes back into the ring and keeps control. He kicks Drake in the back, and Drake screams out again. Nese taunts Drake over fighting for his job as Drake crawls to the ropes. Nese continues with the aggressive offense, driving Drake back into the mat. Nese kicks Drake around, yells at the referee for worrying about Drake. Nese keeps the trash talking coming, but Drake fights back. Nese drops him with another strike. Nese grabs Drake and runs, jumping out to land on his feet on the floor while using the top rope on Drake, knocking him back to the mat. Nese stands tall on the outside as we go to commercial. Back for the break, Nese continues to taunt Drake while grounding him. Nese with another big shot while Drake is down, asking if he's broken him yet. Nese taunts Drake about crying now. Nese with a slap to the face. Drake looks up from his knees and apparently he's upset now. Nese asks if he's angry. Nese sends Drake into a turnbuckle, but Drake just takes it. Drake throws off his wristbands and goes to work on Nese. Backing him into the corner, the referee backs him off. Drake comes right back. Drake ends up kicking Nese from the middle rope and hitting him with a drop kick out of the corner. Drake misses a corner cutter and runs into a back elbow. Nese with a big German suplex launching Drake into turnbuckles. Nese exposes the knee now, pulling down the pad. Nese misses a running knee to the face. Drake gets back up and hits a corner cutter for a close 2 count. Drake then goes up top, but misses the diving elbow as Nese moves out of the way. Nese goes up top for the 450 splash, but Drake knocks his leg out as he goes down. Drake climbs up and hits a super bulldog for the top rope. Drake covers for the pin and gets his first win in the tournament. After the match, Drake yells out and begins celebrating as we go to replays. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Drake as he sits on the apron after the match. Drake yells out that he did it. He told everyone he would do it, and he did. He goes on and says Kushida is next. Drake goes on about how he's not leaving. He's not leaving because he loves this. He's not leaving until he's the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Drake walks off, going on about how he did it as the music hits. So to come segment, Priest versus Lee. We go to a video package with comments from both competitors. Back to commercial. Back for break. Morrow confirms 3 matches for next week. Shirai versus Flair. Dream versus Cole. Black Cruiserweight versus Gargano. Karrion Kross and Scarlett will also debut. And Finn Balor will return. North American title match. Damon Priest versus Keith Lee. Go to the ring for tonight's main event. Out first comes Damon Priest, North American champion. Keith Lee was out next. Taylor does the ring introductions. Bell rings and here they go. Lee starts off with a big elbow. They trade some offense, but Lee keeps control. Lee with a big right hand as Priest comes out of the corner. More back and forth, but Lee gets the upper hand again. Lee ends up clotheslining Priest over the top to the floor. Lee with a big shot on the floor. They fight into the barrier, and Lee sends Priest over it. Lee follows and presses Priest high in the air. Lee launches Priest from the other side of the barrier to the ring. Priest lands hard on the apron and falls to the floor. Lee brings Priest back in, but he rolls back out. Lee approaches and Priest fights him. Lee with an upper hand. Priest avoids a powerbomb attempt and sets back. Lee charges, but Priest moves and Lee goes crashing through the barrier. Priest stands tall and laughs as we go to commercial. Back to the break, Priest has Lee grounded in the middle of the ring. They fight back up and Priest hits a big leaping back splash in the corner. Priest goes for a suplex, but can't get Lee up. Priest blocks the suplex from Lee. Lee deadlifts Priest, but Priest slides out and hits a neck breaker for a 2 count. Priest mounts Lee with right hands. Priest goes for another suplex, but can't get Lee up. Lee tries to overpower Priest, but they break and trade strikes. Priest with a headbutt and a kick. Lee comes right back with a big pounce to shove Priest back in the turnbuckles. Priest goes down. Lee struggles to get up, and they both do, and they go at it. Lee catches Priest in a huge one-arm chokeslam. Priest goes to the floor, but Lee flies out with a corkscrew tornado to take Priest back down. Lee brings it back in the ring, but Priest kicks out. Lee runs the ropes and hits him again, leveling Priest for a big lariat in the middle of the ring. Priest somehow kicks out as Lee looks on, a bit frustrated. Priest slides out of a spirit bomb attempt. Priest gets the upper hand and grabs Lee by the throat. Lee grabs Priest by his throat, but Priest slides out of a chokeslam attempt. Priest with a big boot to the face. Lee keeps fighting, as does Priest. They trade big strikes in the middle of the ring. Priest stays on top of Lee and hits a broken arrow. Lee rolls to the floor to avoid the pin and regroup. Priest stares him down as the referee counts. Priest runs from one corner to another, leaping over it and taking Lee down on the floor. Lee's shoulders hit the barrier. Priest brings Lee back in the ring and goes up top. Priest leaps out with the super psycho kick, but Lee still kicks out of two. Priest waits for Lee to get back up, talking trash and taunting him to get up. Priest goes for a chokeslam, but Lee drops him on the apron with a headbutt. Lee approaches, but Priest hits a big kick from the apron. Priest goes up top, but Lee rocks him with the left hand. Lee climbs up and powers up to hit the superplex. Lee slowly crawls to make the cover with one arm, but Priest kicks out. Lee and Priest immediately start trying to get back up. Priest with shots to the injured throat and a big kick to the head. Priest with a sit-down chokeslam for another 2 count. Priest shows frustration now, yelling out and pounding on the mat. Priest goes to the floor and grabs his nightstick. He also grabs NXT North American title belt. Referee warns him. Priest uses the belt to distract the referee. While the referee is busy with the title, Priest comes in for a shot to the face. Referee doesn't see it, and Lee blocks the nightstick shot. Lee holds it back and warns Priest that he is limitless, staring at him. Lee drops Priest and gets rid of the stick. Lee rocks Priest and hits the big spirit bomb in the middle of the ring. He holds Priest after the first spirit bomb and immediately delivers the second. Lee covers for the pin to retain the North American title. After the match, Lee stands tall with the title as misplays. Go to replays. Lee raises the title in the air as NXT goes off the air. AEW Dynamite results. Darby Allin versus and Cody video. This week's show opens up with a look at Darby Allin with a special vignette with him proving himself by hanging with Cody at the AEW Fighter Fest. We then move on to show Cody's side of the story heading in tonight. All In and Cody each describe the importance of their TNT Championship Tournament semifinal showdown tonight. All In refers to Cody as a corporate cheat. He questions the most important part of a story, the beginning, middle, or end. Chris Jericho and Tony Schiavone run down tonight's action. From there, we shoot to Chris Jericho and Tony Schiavone at the announce desk, breaking down some of the action scheduled for this week's show, which includes the semifinals of the TNT Championship Tournament in the double main event. They also tease Jon Moxley's return, as well as return of third installment of Bubbly Butch. The Exalted One, Brody Lee versus Marco Stunt, Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian versus Best Friends in a no DQ, no count-out match. An update on MJF and Wardlow to smash another poor soul. TNT Championship Tournament semifinals. Darby Allin versus Cody. We head to the ring for the first of the 2 championship semifinal matches scheduled for tonight. Darby Allin same hits, and he begins making his way to the ring. Jericho and Schiavone talk about being impressed by All In's performance against Sammy Guevara in the quarterfinals last week. The audience has noticed to be bigger and louder this week in the past weeks since the beginning of the COVID-19 era. Now pyro and smoke explodes from the entrance way as Cody, accompanied by Brandy Rhodes, begins making his way to the ring as Cody chant. Starts out from the other wrestlers in the arena at ringside. Opening bout of the evening here for the AEW Dynamite is up now. Bell sounds, and here we go. Schiavone points out that these two are 1-0-1 against each other in 2 meetings heading in tonight, with a draw and a win for Cody in their first 2 matches. Match quickly hits the floor, where moments later, Darby full force charges at Cody, but misses him and accidentally takes out his wife, Brandy, who was still at ringside. A violent and pissed off Cody takes over the action as the match resumes inside the ring, while Brandy is helped to the backstage area by ringside officials. On that note, we head to a mid-match commercial break. Back from the break, we'll see Cody still in control of the action until All In bashes his knee into Cody's head on the way up for a Cody suplex attempt. All In goes to work on the hurt knee of Cody that he softened up early in the match. All In hits Cody with the code red. All In is starting to enjoy a comfortable run in the offensive driver's seat for the first time since the beginning of the bout. All In hangs Cody in the tree of woe and runs at him with an awkward flying knee and then backwards butt blast. Think Andre the Giant backwards butt smash if we were to sprint across the ring and jump and turn in midair and it were played and fast forward. Dr. Britt Baker gets involved from the front row of the crowd, hitting Cody with a shoe. Shortly after that, we head to another mid-match commercial. We then return from the break. This time, we see both guys charging and colliding with each other. Double clotheslines. We follow up with another double clothesline. Each man knocking the other down. They're slow to get up, but they beat referee Aubrey Edwards' count. And now the action continues in this championship tournament semifinal match. Cody with a release suplex and a step up and security kick, and what Jericho calls a disaster kick. Cody takes the weight belt off, a la Hollywood Hulk Hogan in WCW. However, he decides against it. Instead, opting to take Aubrey Edwards' advice and throwing it out of the ring. All In ends up blasting Cody with his own finishing move, blasting him with the crossroads out of the blue for another close air fall. All In now looking for Cody's own figure four leg lock submission finisher. He gets it. Cody's yelling out in pain as All In tightens up the hold. We see a still hurt Brandy slowly making her way back to the ring with a bottle of water. As she goes to hand it to him, All In takes it and smashes it over Cody's head. Cody takes All In down with a clothesline. Moments later, now both guys are down as the fans in attendance break out and dueling chants. Let's go Cody, let's go Darby. Of course, you got one side of the front row face, one side, the other side heels. All In is flying all over the place, now with high spots. However, he goes for one too many, as Cody catches him coming off the ropes with a crossroads. He covers him, but All In manages to kick out at two. Cody sets his knee to test its durability before heading up top. Rope backwards. Cody comes sailing off the top with a coffin drop, but All In had it scouted and avoids it. They're stealing each other's finisher. He's getting his knees up just in time. Now he goes up to the top and hits his own coffin drop. As he falls backwards on the pin, Cody rolls him up and steals the pin. With the win, Cody advances to the finals of the TNT Championship Tournament, where he meets the winner of tonight's other semifinal match between Dustin Rhodes and Lance Archer. After the match, we head back to another commercial break. Winner advancing to the TNT Tournament, Cody. Scorpio Sky's journey to AEW and SoCal Uncensored SCU. We return for the commercial break directly into Vic that left off last week. Documentary, the journey into pro wrestling business, and eventually AEW of Scorpio Sky. Last week's video picks up with Sky talking about being uncomfortable, at first trying to find his spot with the already established, decorated duo of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian as part of SoCal Uncensored. Sky concludes this week's video by pointing out that he doesn't want to be a star. He wants to be an epic legend. MJF injury update. His pinky dislocated or whatever it was. We now see a shoot to a promo from Maxwell Jacob Freeman, who updates fans on his hangnail injury. His doctor's words, not his, are that he has the strongest nail on the planet Earth now. MJF claims that while shaving, however, he nicked his neck. He gets choked up when talking about the injury while revealing a giant neck brace to protect his neck. He claims he's a warrior because most mortal men would have bled to death. He goes on to sarcastically claim he cares about the fans so much after joking that his latest injury cost him the chance to perform in front of 6 or 7 of his peers in the crowd on AEW Dynamite. He closes by informing us, in case we forgot, that he is better than us, and he knows it. Musa versus Wardlow. We head back into the arena where a talent named Musa makes his way to the ring. He will be an unfortunate wrestler forced to compete against the dangerous Mr. Mayhem Wardlow this week. That being said, Wardlow makes his way to the ring while Jericho and Shivani react to MJF's recent injury claims. Jericho puts over Wardlow as a monster as he finishes up his entrance and gets into the ring. The bell sounds, and here we go with our second bout of the evening. Here on this week's edition of AEW Dynamite, Musa charges at Wardlow, who doesn't fight, who doesn't flinch, and hoists him up before slamming him down with ease. Wardlow goes to work on Musa in the corner, assaulting the AEW rookie with some big shots before launching him from one side of the ring to the other, like a rag doll, leading to a Steven Tyler Aerosmith reference. Now Wardlow hoists Musa up again in lazy, disrespectful action, marches around the ring with him. Musa takes advantage of this opening, blasting an unsuspecting Wardlow with a big shot before following up with a cool cartwheel kick. Wardlow takes back over, yanking Musa off the top rope into the big blasting shot that elicits a big scream for Jericho on commentary. Wardlow now picks up Musa after taking down a strap a la Kurt Angle. He helicopter spins him around into a big slam for the easy win. The bubbly bunch featuring celebrity cameo-filled Manitoba Melee. Some more dancing videos. We return from a break with the latest edition of the Bubbly Bunch, which, as usual, features the members of the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz, all having fun, clowning around from their homes on camera like a Saturday night live SNL at home sketch from one of the past two Saturday night shows on NBC. This week, we see the guys goofing around before talking about a Manitoba Melee, which features the gang pretend fighting the camera, with each guy selling the offense. We get cameos from Kevin Smith, Gabriel Iglesias, Virgil, Vicky Guerrero, and others. No disqualification, no count-out match. Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian versus the Best Friends. Jimmy Havoc makes his way out to the ring. We shoot back to live inside the arena. Out next, his tag team partner, being accompanied by Penelope Ford, Superbad Kip Sabian. Out they come, joining Havoc. As the trio makes their way to the ring, we are shown some highlights from recent weeks that led into this tag team contest tonight against Best Friends. With that being said, music hits, out come Chucky T and Trent. Alongside with Pressure Squeeze, Orange Cassidy. Havoc and Sabian waste no time getting things started, attacking Chucky T and Trent before they take their entrance gear off. The bell sounds and the brawl continues, accumulating with the Best Friends hitting some cool dives onto the heel duo on the floor. Havoc grabs a steel chair, a la Sabu and ECW, throws it into Orange Cassidy's face. The brawl with the four men in the match continues at ringside, outside the ring, with more weapons being used, brought into play from under the ring. We see a slam onto a steel chair and another big dive from the ring to the floor, as well as a heel smashing on the floor, and Jericho explaining that is one of the worst injuries a wrestler can sustain and still work through. As the action resumes inside the square circle, a ladder is thrown into the ring. The ladder, which is smaller than most used in the ring, is wedged under the top rope and above the middle rope in the corner of the ring. Havoc smashes one of the Best Friends into the chair, face first from the ring mat, flying north at rapid speed. Havoc and Sabian show some good double teaming offense now as they isolate one opponent in the ring and beat him down with every weapon in sight. Trent finally starts fighting back, but his comeback is cut extremely short as Havoc and Sabian double team him and cut him off. Kip opens up the chair, sets it in the corner, and kicks Trent and knocks him down, seated in the chair. Nothing happens as the other members of the match get involved as the action gets more chaotic. Best Friends do an Edge and Christian style chair shoot. However, instead of each guy swinging the chair from opposite sides of one man's head, they instead each threw their chairs into into the dome of Sabian. Best friends are now in firm control of the bout for the first time in a while. Chucky G wedges the chair in the corner, the same way the midget ladder was earlier in the bout. Sabian throws Chucky G head first into the chair before turning around into a tornado DDT from Trent. Trent is now laid out on an open ladder, sitting sideways in the ring. Sabian comes flying off the ropes with a double stomp while he's laying on the ladder. Ouch! Penelope Ford finally gets involved for the first time in the bout, providing the save for her man at a crucial point deep into the match. Orange Cassidy gets involved, giving Havoc a receipt for throwing the chair in his face earlier by taking him out. Ford goes to kick him, but kicks her own man. Now she spears the wrong man, while Orange moves again on the floor. Orange climbs to the top and is kicked off into the hills on the ground. In the ring, Chucky hits a big move for the pin. Best friends meet in place as they pick up a hard-earned win in this exciting no DQ, no count-out match. Dr. Britt Baker, DDS, and Rebel, the makeup artist. We return to Britt Baker, DDS, video in her dentist's office. We get to meet her makeup artist, Rebel, who she calls Reba and treats like crap. She flips through some giant pages with some instructions and reminders to the fans. The first of which is just her Twitter address. Whoops, how'd that get there? She says in a believable fashion, making it that much hilarious. As she turns the page and begins her list. She runs through the list, taking many shots at Tony Schiavone and his teeth along the way, and then tells us she'll see us next time. Huh, what is this? Jericho's list? You just made the list. Shawn Spears versus Baron Black. Another debuter. Tony Schiavone and Chris Jericho had some fun with the aforementioned Britt Baker segment and take shots at her longtime pro wrestling announcer as the chairman of AEW, Shawn Spears, makes his way down the ring for the next match of the night. Spears climbs into the ring, where his opponent, Baron Black, already waiting for him. Bell sounds, and here we go. Spears jumps off to an early offensive lead, hitting Black with some strikes and slamming him down. Before Black gets some shots of his own, Black nails Spears with some punches and chops. Spears cuts his offense short, blasting him with chops of his own. Now Spears shows off his twerking ability to the shock of Schiavone. Black gets him some more chops that surprises Spears, and Schiavone points out. His demeanor changes now, taking the action more serious. Moments later, he gets back to clowning. He points at Jericho on commentary and does the "yeah, baby," flexing arrogant pin attempt for a 2 count. Yeah, you know the Superman punch step. Black blasts Spears for some big chops. Again, Spears hits a C4, however, then puts a modified sharpshooter. Black taps out as the bell sounds. What does AEW World Champion Jon Moxley have to say? We head to a break as the announcers inform us. Up next, AEW World Champion, Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley returns. They tease a promo, questioning what Jon Moxley had to say, before also telling us that the Exalted One, Brody Lee, versus Marco Stunt is coming up next inside the ring. On that note, we head back to another commercial break. Marco Stunt versus the Exalted One, Brody Lee. We return from the break. We see a video highlight of the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, making his AEW Dynamite debut against Marco Stunt. Then we shoot to a backstage interview with the Jurassic Express member talking about Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy not being here tonight. And he takes on another big challenge, the Exalted One, Brody Lee. From there, we shoot back to live inside the arena, where Marco Stunt makes his way to the ring by himself. After that, his opponent, the Exalted One of the Dark Order, Mr. Brody Lee, makes his way out. Camera closes in on Mr. Brody Lee. Cold, dark expression. Less eyes as the bell sounds. Marco immediately charges at Lee, attempting offense, but getting no cell treatment before slapping him in the face. That, unfortunately, for the Jurassic Express member, woke up the leader of the Dark Order, and not in a good way. Exalted One begins his assault on Stunt, delivering one-sided beatdown to his much smaller foe as the camera again closes in on his cold, dead eyes as Jericho points out on commentary that his facial expression has not once changed during his entire contest. As Mr. Brody heads out to the fort, Stunt comes flying through the ropes towards him, but eats a super kick that comes flying past from the hip of Mr. Brody. He stands in the ring, now expressionless again, as the referee begins counting out Stunt. Stunt finally rolls back in the ring at the count of 9. Stunt gets back in the ring and flips over Lee and blasts him with a kick before walking right into a crazy turning sidewalk slam from the Exalted One. Nothing more than Matt Hardy's sidewalk slam. Mr. Brody follows that up with a sit-out powerbomb for the 1-2-3. AEW World Champion returns live next week. Jon Moxley is shown walking through the streets with graffiti filled walls, talking about how crazy it is that 8 weeks ago he was in a sea of AEW fans celebrating his AEW World Championship victory. He then called Jake Hager a B-word, then referencing his title defense over the Inner Circle member in his last AEW World Heavyweight Championship bout. He thanks God for his wife, Renee Young, for being able to put up with being stuck in a house with him for so long. He then announces that next week's live AEW Dynamite, he will make his return in person. He asks if everyone is paying attention and says, "Don't forget to call your grandmother." We had a commercial break after the Moxley segment. On tap for next week's AEW Dynamite, we return from commercial break. The now team of Chris Jericho and Chelsea Fine run down some of the action on tap for next week's live episode of AEW Dynamite. It's announced that MJF will make his live return. Jon Moxley will go on one-on-one against ACU's Frankie Kazarian, and Chris Jericho will join forces with fellow Inner Circle member Sammy Guevara as the Sex Gods take on the dip crap from the Elite. According to the champion on commentary, tag team of Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy in an anything goes street fight. And your last TNT Championship Tournament semifinal match, Dustin Rhodes versus Lance Archer. Now it's time for the second and last TNT Championship Tournament semifinal match. As Dustin Rhodes, the Murder Hawk, Monster Lance Archer each make their respective ring entrances for this semifinal match bout in the ongoing tournament to crown the inaugural TNT champion in All Elite Wrestling. The bell sounds and here we go. After Archer takes out someone on his way to the ring. During his entrance, he knocks down his second body of the evening, blessing Dustin Rhodes, who has Brandy Rhodes in his corner, by the way, with a big boot, a big shot that knocks him out to the floor for a momentary breather. Archer cuts off Dustin's drop-down punch attempt, blasting the wrestling veteran with a big shot. Dustin then fights back and hops off the apron, taking Archer off his feet on his way down outside the ring. Dustin stares down Archer from inside the ring as the Murder Hawk monster angrily paces back and forth. He re-enters the ring and does Dustin with a pounce shoulder block that launches him out of the ring, nearly taking out the referee Aubrey Edwards in the process. Brandy Rhodes backs up Archer, heads over to Dustin to deliver further punishment. He reaches under the ring and pulls out a steel chair. He whacks it into the ring post, which allows Dustin to take notice, giving him time to avoid the chair shot that was coming moments later. Regardless, Archer ends up blasting Dustin in the forehead with a massive steel chair shot as Edwards was distracted. Now we see a close-up of Dustin on the floor as blood begins to free flow from his forehead. The camera closes in on him again as Archer throws him back in the ring. We see Dustin's entire face is now dark red, bloody, crimson mask. On that note, we head to commercial break. The bloody butt-kicking that Dustin Rhodes is suffering at the hands of Murder Hawk continues to another segment as we head back to another mid-match commercial break with Dustin still on the wrong end of the one-sided blood-filled beatdown. Back from the break, and after Archer enjoys some more time in the offensive driver's seat, Dustin starts to finally make a comeback. The natural hits code red and a crossroads on Arthur, but only gets one count when he attempts to pin him. Arthur starts taking over again, dominating the older veteran with vicious offense. He goes for his finisher off the top in the corner, but Dustin escapes. Arthur ends up chokeslamming him over his efforts. He blasts him with a big boot when he gets back to his feet. Now Arthur dominates the action some more as the blood continues to flow from the head of the legend. QT Marshall and Cody come down to ringside with a towel. Instead, the bout continues and Arthur immediately takes Dustin out for the win. He stares down Cody with an evil look as Cody kneels over his beaten down brother while the scary monster looks down at him in a very Rocky Balboa, Ivan Drago, post-Drago, Apollo, Creed-like moment from Rocky IV. Winner advancing to the NXT Championship Tournament Finals, Murder Hawk Lance Archer. And that will conclude my results for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you want to be. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.